So you're the new initiate. You're certainly cuter than the last one. And why wouldn't she, darling? I am her favorite after all. As a matter of fact, I'm everyone's favorite. I'm sure you'll agree soon enough. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you. May the Night Mother forever hold you in her cold and loving embrace. Forward. Believe me, this is my shy and unimposing side. After all, we wouldn't want to give my beloved Simbar the wrong idea, would we? Find me later, and I'll show you what forward really looks like. Oh, you really are too easy, my darling. I'm just having fun with you. I suppose I get that from my family heritage. The Motiers are rich, powerful, and blessed with good looks, and a wicked sense of humor. Just play along and enjoy. Oh, there's nothing noble about my family. But I left that all behind. The wealth, the boredom, the servants waiting on me hand and foot. One day, I strangled my handmaid with a golden chain. And here I am. Life in the Brotherhood suits me. You shouldn't know anything, darling. We're a secret organization, after all. I suppose I can tell you that we serve the Night Mother. Her cold embrace binds us together. Never dishonor her. Our contracts aren't mere tasks. We carry out her will. Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. These words, as part of a complex ritual, form the Black Sacrament, the means by which those in need pray to the Night Mother. Our mother hears the prayer and whispers to the listener. The listener sends a speaker to arrange the details and create the contract. Then the speaker selects an assassin to carry out our mother's will. It's more than just a job. It's a calling. This just got much too serious for my taste, darling. Let's talk about something, I don't know, more decadent. Like how I'd be nibbling on your ear if Simbar wasn't here. He's watching, isn't he? Maybe a little nibble is in order, A few. The speaker sends new initiates to the sanctuary every so often. New blood, you understand. Before you, there was a charming young lad from Glenumbra. Van something, I believe. A shame, really. He was too scrumptious to die so soon. Mind your tongue, initiate. We're the murderers, not the victims here. But I suppose the circumstances were somewhat unusual? Someone left Van pinned to the wall of the inn in Kvatch, held up with multiple daggers. When I find the villain... You don't hunt the hunters. The Brotherhood hunts you. Anything else is a crime against the natural order. But enough of this dark talk. We're just working ourselves into a tizzy. I'd much rather get excited about something more enticing.
Welcome to the family, Initiate. Once you figure out your place here, I'm sure you'll do fine. Just don't try to encroach on Mirabelle's area of expertise. We don't need more than one spy and infiltrator in our sanctuary. Understand?
I heard we had a new initiate on the premises. I was just checking my notes and realized the details concerning you are sorely lacking. We'll need to rectify that before too long. She did. Interesting. I wonder what she's planning this time. Well, I'm certain everything will become clear, eventually. Even you, I suppose. Aren't you familiar with the cherished Black Marsh custom? Consuming various venomous concoctions to bolster our natural immunity? I drank so much my tongue turned green. Ha! The new initiates fall for that every time. And you as well, Initiate. I look forward to interviewing you at length when you have some time. For my journals, of course. I keep meticulous records. I'll help you, you'll help me. Isn't that what the Bretons call a win-win? What more could you possibly need to know? I am a Shadow Scale. My life begins and ends with the Dark Brotherhood. I could have sworn I explained this before. Let me check my notes. Well, like other Argonians born under the sign of the Shadow, I was taken upon hatching and trained to be an assassin. That makes me a good killer. A very good killer. What an intriguing inquiry. Attempting to ascertain if I actually like it here, or something more subtle. Well, like or dislike is meaningless. I serve the Matron as I served my former sanctuary, and as I serve Black Marsh when called upon. The river carries us where it will, and that's all I prefer to say about that at this time. I was there, now I am here. As are you, Initiate. Perhaps, depending upon what you mean by something and me. Rest assured, whatever musings and observations I record herein are strictly confidential. Now this one I know I've written down. Study the 5 tenets. Learn them, memorize them, live them. There's a copy in the sanctuary, someplace. I'd let you look at this one, but I don't let anybody read my journals. That would be inadvisable. Such a curious mind. Then listen carefully, Initiate. Contracts must be taken seriously. Always obey the Matron's instructions to the letter, and don't get yourself killed. Though that probably goes without saying.
Well met, brother. I coordinate our family's more mundane contracts. I suggest you get used to this face, because you're going to be seeing a lot of me. Did she now? Are you sure that's what she told you to do? Wouldn't want you to get in trouble your first day in the sanctuary. Now that you're here, we might as well discuss your training. Don't repeat what I say. It annoys me. Now, where was I? Oh yes, your training. Complete a contract, receive a reward. prove yourself, and more significant contracts will be made available to you. It's simple, really. I don't expect you to last a week, but as long as you're still here. Ready for your first contract, Initiate? Not everyone appeals to the Dark Brotherhood through the Black Sacrament. For those with copious amounts of gold to spare, we usually indulge their more mundane requests. Are you ready to take on your first contract? Typically, you'll consult the ledger marked for death, but I've handpicked something special for your first job. Travel to the city of Kvatch, identify the target listed on this contract, then eliminate them. I encourage you to practice with the Blade of Woe, but as long as the target dies, it doesn't really matter how you kill them. Can you manage that? What are you standing around for? I'm not much to look at, and neither is this room. Anyone can find a reason to kill someone. Ambition, jealousy, humiliation. I once killed for a jester who couldn't take a joke. Careful who you heckle in Stormhaven. Me? I'm flattered. No, that's not the right word. Uncomfortable? Yes, that's it. Well, whatever do you want to know about me for? Not the brooding type? Good. They're a bore. I've been with Astara at this sanctuary since its inception, more years than I care to remember. In that time, I've done enough contract killing to know how to drum up business. It's my charm. Anyone can find a reason to kill someone. Ambition, jealousy, humiliation. I once killed for a jester who couldn't take a joke. Careful who you heckle in Stormhaven.
Merchandise around. Merchandise.
You're back, I see. How could I not? You're standing in my light. So tell me, how did you do? Well, good for you. But don't get too full of your accomplishments just yet. That was a fairly easy contract I started you with. Come back when you're ready for more. If the Speaker or the Matron give an order, though, that takes priority. Even the simplest contract represents a pact one enters into with the Dark Brotherhood. Take each contract seriously. After all, we've built our reputation on customer satisfaction.
Grand Sermonizer is at it again, Matron.
Those loudmouth fanatics! It's time to teach them a lesson about the blessings of silence!
Enough. I'll decide how we respond to these malign sermons. Initiate, I have a task for you. Once again, the pious idiots of Kvatch dare to provoke the anger of the Dark Brotherhood. Such an insult cannot be allowed to stand unchallenged. As if the Grand Sermonizer didn't have enough vices to rage about. Now she's preaching against the Brotherhood. She says we are weak, powerless, a toothless dragon that inspires ridicule instead of fear. These lies must be silenced, permanently. Be wary. The Order of the Hour has increased its presence in Kvatch. Avoid the warrior priests if you can. Meet up with Tannic and silence the priests that speak against us, including the Grand Sermonizer. That will put the fear of Sithis in them. Tannic will meet you in Kvatch. I expect the two of you to deal with the Grand Sermonizer and show the people of that hypocritical city the real power of the Dark Brotherhood. The Grand Sermonizer and her priests spread lies about the Brotherhood for reasons I do not yet understand. Whether she seeks to insult us or acts upon some misguided tenet of faith, our response is clear. These impudent priests must die. She's one of the ranking priests at the Cathedral of Kvatch, right below Primate Artorias in the hierarchy. She won't be easy to find, however. Killing her subordinates may draw her out. Otherwise, rely on Tannic to locate the hole she's hiding in. Primate Artorias leads the Cathedral of Akatosh in Kvatch. The chanters and sermonizers bow to his authority as the chosen of the Dragon God, and even the Order of the Hour follows his commands. Pious and faithful, I find the man to be insufferable. Caution becomes the appropriate response after the deaths of 2 assassins, Initiate. But make no mistake, I expect you to assassinate the Grand Sermonizer. Tannic will be there to provide assistance, nothing more. Under normal circumstances, no. These recent attacks against us, however, have made circumstances far from normal. Concentrate on the Grand Sermonizer. That's your primary mission. The common folk fear us. The political leaders tolerate us. And everyone who needs someone dead and can pay the cost hires us without hesitation. Our reputation remains strong. But these attacks by the Sermonizers, they're obviously up to something. It could be anything. Certainly Primate Artorias and his priests have little love for the Brotherhood. I wonder, does the Cathedral plan to outlaw the Black Sacrament? Would they dare such an action? Regardless, these sermons are bad for business.
Initiate, I have my own contract in Kvetch. I'll join you in Tonic as soon as I'm finished.
3 blades on the same contract? Is that wise, Matron?
Just make sure the Grand Sermonizer dies, Initiate. That's my chief concern.
I was wondering how long it would take you to get here. Didn't Astara instill you with a sense of urgency about this mission? She must be getting tender-hearted after all these years. Yes, I say so. I find life to be a complicated series of pranks and pratfalls. Besides, this is your mission. I'm only here to observe and offer assistance if you get in over your head. Speaking of which, try not to get captured or killed today. No, that would be boring. You start murdering the Sermonizer's priests while I take on the real challenge. I'll locate her hiding spot. Then I'll find you so we can kill her together. That will put the fear of the Brotherhood and the Kvatch people. Be stealthy or slaughter everyone that gets in your way. Whichever works best for you. They all wind up with Sithis in the end, so what's the worry? Now, let's get out there and deal with the Grand Sermonizer and her lying priests. Time to dip our daggers in Sermonizer blood. Watch your back, New Blade.
Fine goods at fair prices.
Murder is a filthy business in the eyes of Akatosh. Buying, selling, trading. And those who treat murder as business are the worst of all.
They've done it. They've dropped the axe on Knight Commander Pantheus.
Hear me, faithful of Akatosh. I speak of the foul followers of Sithis. No charge to have a look.
There's a hidden evil corrupting Kavat.
What is it?
These villains are cowards!
So, here and now.
Our quarry cowers in her family's estate outside Kvatch. I'll meet you there, New Blade. And if you really want to impress the matron, kill a few more sermonizers along the way.
Buy local, get your goods here.
Are you hungry for blood? The Kvatch Arena's next event is about to begin!
Selling, buying, trading! right here.
Release the gladiators! Watch this! New challengers have entered the arena! Cheer or boo, it's up to you! Hold on. The Arena Master is signaling for a main event. Now the real contest begins. Challengers, prepare to face the champions of the Kvatch Arena, the Order of the Hour!
For sale.
Finest merchandise around.
The Dark Brotherhood. Cowards and skeever lovers, the lot of them.
Follow me, New Blade. New Blade, come quietly and listen. Our quarry stirs below.
Grand Sermonizer, have you discovered the location of the sanctuary yet?
Unfortunately, this assassin expired before revealing anything useful.
I'll capture another. Try not to kill this one before we learn the location of the Dark Brotherhood's lair.
Lord Akatosh, hear our prayer. Just prepare the body, like so.
Who is that black-armored warrior? Some kind of mercenary? Now's our chance. Follow me. She tortured Simbar. Such an insult to the family cannot stand. At least he knew how to hold his tongue. What foul magic is this? New Blade, beware. I feel so weak. I can't move.
2 assassins? I didn't know they came in pairs. With the proper motivation, you will reveal the location of the Brotherhood. The Black Dragon admires your kind, but I don't see what the attraction is.
I'm just gonna sit here and see who comes for me first. Sithis or Tall Papa?
Tonic, are you planning to just lay down and die?
They knew we'd come for Simbar. Trapped his body with some kind of foul death magic.
Get up, you milk drinker! Sithis still has work for you to do. Initiate, the Grand Sermonizer is yours. I'll get Tonic home.
Defend me, Knights of the Order of the Hour! Show this assassin the true power of Akatosh! Trust in Akatosh! Let the Dragon God guide your strikes! Murder me if you must! It won't save your dark Brotherhood!
Mara's bosom is a dull one.
Seems I'll need to use something harsher than words to deal with you. The Black Dragon will pay for striking the servant of Akatosh. Lord Akatosh! My spirit is yours!
Kor brought Tannik home injured but alive. He told me you went after the Grand Sermonizer. Tell me, has the deed been done? Simbar was one of our best. To allow himself to be captured like that. I didn't think that either the Grand Sermonizer or the Order of the Hour was capable of such a feat. Why go to all that trouble, I wonder? Black armor. I've heard rumors of such a warrior, but to seek the location of our sanctuary. It appears we're at war with an unknown adversary. I need to think about this. By the way, Tannik woke up and asked to see you.
Don't worry, Tannik. A cask of mead, and you'll be back on your feet in no time.
Shit, your mead tastes like bee vomit. I think I'll pass.
Oh, Tannik, I hate that this happened to you.
You worry more than the matron, Hildegard. I'll be as good as new before you know it. Ah, the new blade has arrived. Give us the room if you would, Kor.
Certainly, Tannik. But I still expect you to be completing contracts again in a few days.
I'll do my best not to disappoint you.
Take your time, Tannik. I am going to go say a prayer for your quick recovery.
Kor and Hildegard mean well, but they're worse than a couple of mother hens. You're alive. Does that mean the Grand Sermonizer is no longer with us? We're not certain what kind of magic the Grand Sermonizer placed upon Simbar's body. But I'd be dead too, if not for you and Kor. I'm indebted to you both. And I'll make sure that everyone remembers Simbar's bravery. He refused to give up our secret, no matter what the Grand Sermonizer did to him. It does make me wonder about the warrior who was able to defeat him, though. Simbar could easily best me in a fight, and that warrior bested him. If you encounter her again, don't underestimate her skills and abilities. She's hunting the hunters, and that's a game I have no desire to play. A chance to beat your record. How many of the Sermonizer's priests did you murder anyway? Seriously, New Blade. Stay sharp out there. The roots of our trouble stretch deep below the soil. Things are gonna get worse, my friend. Mark my words.
Ah, friend. Am I glad to see you. It's Hildegard. She never came back after she went to say a prayer for Tannic. I think I could use your help. After Tannic was injured during the Grand Sermonizer incident, Hilda went to pray for him, and I haven't seen her since. No one has. It's not like Hilda to just disappear without saying a word to me or Astara. She loves temples, but the trouble in Kvetch has made her avoid the big cathedral. Lately, she's been visiting the great chapel of Debella in Anvil. I think the ritual will soothe her. Will you come to Anvil and help me find Hildegard? I'll meet you at the chapel in Anvil. Hopefully we'll find Hilda curled up and sleeping under Debella's statue. Just be careful when you get to the city. The Pirate Queen hates the Brotherhood almost as much as the Sermonizers do. She likes to commune with the divines and with nature. And she takes on contracts like the rest of us. So it's not that unusual for her to be away from the sanctuary. But with the recent attacks against us, I can't help but imagine the worst. I hope she's all right. But who knows what to think when the world turns upside down? Someone's been murdering the murderers. If Hildegard's been hurt, or worse, I don't know what I'll do. What are you implying, Initiate? Hilda is like a sister to me. Ever since I found her, I've been trying to help her come to grips with her situation. She may be a werewolf, but she's a good person. The Brotherhood is lucky to have her. Why is that so hard to believe? She's an excellent tracker and a ruthless killer in werewolf form. Sometimes she brings back body parts she's still gnawing on, but who hasn't gotten lost in the moment a time or two? And I always clean up the mess. The Pirate Queen hates everything she can't control. The Count of Kvetch, the Primate, us. She wants to rule the entire Gold Coast, but we're not willing to just roll over and give in to her demands. We're independent, and we like it that way. Hilda's not here. Let's ask around and see if any of the worshippers have seen her.
Bask in the holiness of this sacred place, and let your troubles fade away. I have seen many such women in this city. I heard the governor wore one at a recent appearance, and now the custom has become a sort of fashion statement. Sorry I cannot be of more assistance to you, Wayfarer.
I wonder if I can get a priest to tell me how they keep the fires burning. I hope it's not one of those sacred secrets that they're always going on about. Now that you mention it, I remember a young woman. No, wait. That was a wood elf. Carried around a bouquet of flowers. Talked to them, smelled them. Then she ate them! Really, wood elves are very strange.
Ah, now I've lost my train of thought. Well, since you've already interrupted the writing process, what can I do for you? A Nord? Here? Is that even possible? I have it on good authority that the typical Nord melts in hot temperatures. Come to think of it, I'm surprised I've never met a Nord. One more thing to do before I finish my memoirs, I suppose?
My, someone is certainly curious about this Nord girl. I wonder who she could be. Your interest in this young Nord woman has certainly piqued my curiosity. Tell me who she is, and I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a young Nord with a flower in her hair talking to Chanter Nemes over by the Akatosh shrine. I remember because it was so odd. He was whispering in her ear and standing much too close for a man who wasn't her father or her lover. Oh, believe me, I tried. When they were finished, the poor young woman had tears streaming down her face. She ran out of the chapel as the chanter looked on. He had a self-satisfied smile on his face. Do you think he said something improper? No, of course not. A man as pious as Chanter Nemes would never do anything untoward with a young Nord woman. I mean, even the rumor of such an event would be scandalous. Don't worry, though. I won't say a word about your friend and the Chanter.
Troll's blood! Can these people gossip? They're worse than the Rat Master's informants, and he pays them to dredge up secrets. Hilda was here, but no one can say where she went or when. Tell me you had better luck, Initiate. A chanter spoke with Hilda? That's not what I wanted to hear. Understand, Hilda isn't like us. She grew up in the wild. The idea of being civilized is really new to her. And she still feels guilty about the wolf that's inside her. It certainly sounds that way to me. It doesn't take much to turn her guilt about what she's done as a wolf into self-loathing. I'm constantly trying to get her to change her feelings on the matter, but her beliefs run deep. Back to where it all began. Back to Skyrim. I'll check at the docks to see if she's tried to secure passage on a ship. You go talk to the caravan master. Hopefully one of us will discover which route she took to go back to where the wolf was born.
So much to do, so little time.
Please.
The next caravan will be ready to leave shortly. If that interests you, find a place nearby to sit for a spell, and I'll call you when we're ready. Well, isn't that interesting? You're the second menacing stranger that's asked me about a Nord who may or may not have fled in tears. Even if I had seen this young woman, why do you think I'd tell you anything? Right. Her family. The way that young woman was crying, you'd think Molag Bal himself was after her. Or someone like you. If I had helped the Nord, and I'm not saying I did, you'd have to do a lot better than that to get me to tell you anything. Sorry. I protect my customers and their secrets. I've got nothing else to say to you.
Caravan Master, please! The young woman with the flower in her hair, she's in terrible danger!
Well, look at you! You must be the brother.
So you did see Hildegard. Please, you'll need to tell us where she's gotten to.
You're all she talked about other than begging me for transport. She said she was gonna miss you most of all.
Word on the docks was that the Silver Dawn was looking for my sister too. We need to know where she went.
The young woman wanted a ride to the Yarral Mountains. I sent her on the last wagon, but I can take you there if that would help.
We'd appreciate that. Thank you. The news about the Silver Dawn has made me even more concerned about Hilda's safety. We have to hurry! The Silver Dawn are werewolf hunters. Whatever that chanter said to Hilda has made her run back to the wilderness where I found her. And now a hunting party is on her trail. They're going to kill her, Initiate.